Hi there, Paul. So thank you for taking the time to see us today. Really good that you've given up your time, a couple of hours today. Just to recap, what we wanted to do today is really go through in a lot of detail your full digital customer journey, full end-to-end process over the next couple of hours. And what we'll hopefully do along the way is uncover any sort of challenges, issues that you might have in that journey, and using our knowledge of best practice that we see in the industry, hopefully suggest improvements, tweaks that you can make to your journey to help give your customers a better journey overall. Does that sound okay for you?
Yeah, sounds good. Let's go.
Fantastic. Okay, I've got my colleague John Cosby here as well, who's a consultant working in this area, so he'll be supporting me in this and as we go through and asking a lot of questions.
Hi John, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Fantastic. So, first things first. So if we look at, so you provide personal loans online. So if we look at the current digital journey, these are all the different elements that we see making up a typical customer journey. So if we start right from the beginning, at number one, so targeting. So effectively, how you currently drive traffic to your website. So do you have how does that work at the moment? Do you have, what processes do you have in place?
To be honest, Steve, that's not my area. I think it's one for Sheila, the marketing person. So I'm not that in the detail. Certainly, we do stuff in that space, but probably need to pull someone else in for that conversation.
Okay. Well, that's absolutely fine. So we can hold that point, and what we'll do is perhaps contact Sheila on a later date. If you come back in and do another workshop session, and then explore that a bit further. Will that be okay?
Sure, I'll put you in touch.
Fantastic. Okay, cool. So, quickly moving on to point two here. So if you look at device intelligence, not sure if this is something that you've looked at before. So what do you do at the moment to distinguish between good and bad devices when they land on your website?
Nothing, to be honest. I've not really even thought about it. We do various fraud checks further along the customer journey, but no device stuff up front at all.
Presumably there's a bit of a negative impact of doing those device checks at that later stage in the journey?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, clearly there's a cost both to us and to the customer of going through that journey. To find the problem later down the line is far from ideal.
So how would you kind of generally benefit from moving that process further upstream and flagging up high-risk applications kind of right at the start of the process?
Well, I guess in that case we could save operational costs by routing out those customers much earlier in the journey, albeit I would worry a little bit if there were additional overhead for my good customers.
Okay, great. Thank you for that. So I think there's something that we can explore there a bit further around how we could help with that in terms of that routing certain applications down a certain path using device ID to help guide that. So what we'll do, we'll just take a note of that, and that's something that we can come back to later on.
Sure.
That's
nice.
okay.
Sounds good. Sounds interesting.
Okay. So if we move further on, so into number 6. So we've now covered all those areas so far. So we're covering number 6 now. So identity verification. So you're currently using Authenticate at the moment.
That's right.
For that, from ourselves, of course. How are you finding that? Are you having any problems with it at all? Any issues, challenges?
It's good with the bulk of our customers. The real challenge we have is the sort of 10 to 15% that don't pass our current strategy. We tend to fall back to paper documents, so getting people to send us photocopied documents via email, which is costly for us and inconvenient for them.
So it sounds like your current customers have a bit of a problem with the fallback process. Could you unpack that a little bit more?
Yeah, I mean, it takes for those customers particularly, it takes a fair bit of time. It's not a great experience, and inevitably we get some drop-offs. potentially could be going to our competition. So definitely something that's a hot topic for us.
Okay, so how would you benefit from, I suppose, if there was a way of making that a faster and more applicant-friendly approach, what would be kind of the benefits to your business?
I think there's a benefit around brand. We certainly want to be seen as a business that's easy to do business with, and that provides a good customer experience. But of course, greater conversion also means more revenue, faster growth, which clearly is important.
Okay, well that's another good thing, John. You've been making notes there on that as well, haven't you? So I think we've definitely got something we can help there with as well, to help those 10 to 15% of applicants that you're currently not passing straight through. So again, we've made notes of that, so that's something we can come back to and address in more detail at the end. So okay, so now moving on. So we've covered 6, 7, 8. Now moving on to 9, affordability. So the question we have is how are you currently assessing affordability? Obviously not something you're currently dealing with us at the moment, so it'd just be good to understand, are you doing something there, and if so, what is that process?
Sure. Yeah. Well, as a regulated business, we have to do stuff there. So currently, we use bureau models from Equifax, including current account turnover data, to verify the information we receive from the customer is about right. I'm not sure I have a massive amount of confidence in it.
So, what kind of limitations are you finding with those bureau models? I know that our customers have certain limitations with our bureau models as well, but for you guys with the solution that you have in place at the moment, what are the limitations that you have?
Well, models have their flaws, obviously, and the information isn't available for everybody. They're generally based on assumptions that you have normal financial habits, and they don't tend to work, for example, with low-income groups or very high-income groups.
Okay. And so what kind of problems does that cause for you guys as a business?
Well, the internal cost of the application goes up every time the model doesn't give us the information that we require, and we have to go over to manual checks. More and more we're finding that our customers are unimpressed when we ask them to provide paper bank statements, etc., to show their income. All these problems, as well as adding operational costs for us, are starting to be a barrier to our growth.
Okay, so thinking about that further, so presumably there'd be a benefit for you from perhaps more automated access to that transactional bank account information to help better, I guess, more quickly assess income, expenditure, affordability, etc.
For sure, yeah, it's something that we've been talking about internally recently, and we're just in the process of looking for an open banking partner, because we think that has the potential to provide the more granular information we need at a lower cost and improve our customer journey. So yes, certainly something that we're interested in. Okay,
fantastic. Well, that's certainly in line with a lot of conversations we're having at the moment. So obviously you've probably heard that we've been given the account information service provider AISP status by the FCA for open banking. So that seems like a good position for us both to be in. It'd be good to explore that with you a bit more. So how about we run through that with you in more detail at perhaps a later workshop? Would that be of interest?
Definitely. It's something we need to look at sooner rather than later. So there'll be some people in the business that will want to be involved. But if we can get something in the diary sooner rather than later, I think that would be good.
Okay, fantastic. So running through the whole journey there. So we've gone from start to finish. We've run through all those different elements. So thank you very much for your time. Hopefully you found that useful. I mean, how have you found it? Is that okay?
Yeah, I think it was a great use of a couple of hours, and there was a number of points on this journey that we hadn't even considered. So it's certainly been a useful exercise, and thank you for taking the time to show me through it.
Yeah, well, thank you as well. I mean, that was really insightful for us as well. gave us a lot more insight that we some areas that we just weren't aware of in terms of your own journey as well. So I think just to recap, so the 3 key areas that we probably most need to focus on next is around device intelligence at that front end. It would sound like it was a new service for you potentially. Identity verification, which we're already working with you on, but I think we can improve on that current service, maybe through document verification. And then obviously the open banking conversation, which sounded like there was a lot of interest there. So yeah, if that's okay, so let's get some dates in the diary. We'll work that through with you in a workshop session in a bit more detail.
Yeah, sounds great. Let's set up a meeting with Sheila on the prospecting as well.
Of course.
I think there's some real potential, so look forward to it.
Fantastic. Brilliant. Thank you very much.
Thanks all.
Cheers.
Cheers.